Enter in through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate, and narrow is the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. It was in the fields, just below a small house. A man walked slowly, and he was bent over by the weight of a great big pack that was heaped up over his back and shoulders. The breath of the wind pushed the wheat heads in ripples around him, and every third step seemed to spring a pheasant all aflutter into the air. But the man did not notice. He walked on, holding an open book and turning the pages slowly. Beyond him, the sun was setting over the western mountains, gilding the sides of the peaks with a light so red they seemed on fire. When the man saw this, he stepped back startled. His hands flew to the burdens on his shoulders, and he cried out, "What must I do?" He did not look up. He didn't expect an answer. But one day, he walked further than usual. He went eastward, glancing fearfully back over his burden to the mountains that glowered behind him. His burden had grown heavier with the passing days, and the book he read in became more and more distressing. So when he topped a small rise and saw mountains ahead of him, he fell to his knees and he shouted to the wind, "What must I do to be saved?" He did not look up. He did not expect an answer, but one came. Along the path ahead of him, Christian saw a man walking briskly. He stood quite still and quite straight when he came up to Christian, waiting for this burdened man to speak. "Sir," groaned Christian, "can you help me?" "Perhaps," nodded the man. "Sir, this book, it tells me that I'll die." "You hardly need a book to tell you that. Look around you. All things die in the city of destruction." "Yes, but this book tells me that my burden will sink me even lower than the grave." "If you already know this," said the man, "why are you standing still? Are you willing to point the way?" "I am evangelist, and I am willing." "Do you see the gate? There, past that second field." "No, I don't see it. Do you see a light at least?" "I think so." "It is enough for now. Keep it in your eye and run. And when you reach the gate, knock." And so I saw in my dream that Christian began to run.